I like that, Jim. Jim sends me a message. Check out the new sportswear brand, Old Guys Rule. The older I get, the better I was. I definitely feel that. I was super good when I was young. Okay, so we're going to get going here. I'm going to click you guys out for a few minutes and bring you back in a little bit. Let's see. See you, Doug. See you, Mitch. And Lenny. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay. Tonight is August 6th. This is our August 6th meeting. We are going to talk about getting ready. Let me show you our agenda for tonight. We're going to keep it to 60 minutes. Welcome, Bill. I just saw you. Welcome, Tanya. Welcome, Karen. Welcome, Cindy. We're going to keep our agenda tonight to 60 minutes, hopefully. And first thing I'm going to do is review the last meeting. We're going to talk about our avatar. We're going to talk about the elevator pitch. We're going to talk about your USP. And then I'm going to go through two examples. Mitch Turk sent me his, and so did Barry. So we're going to go through both of their sheets so you can see the process they went through and see if we like it, if they like it, if it flows with what we're working on. Then I'm going to go through what we've done so far. And I'm going to try to put the whole thing together so you understand why we started with the why we started with the how, the what, the who, the want, why that process took place, and then how we are going to utilize this information and all the work that you guys have done so far. What's the point of all this? So we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to go into what's next. Where are we going to go from here? And then I'll have time, hopefully, at the end for some questions. So let's get going. Let's review our last meeting. We talked about defining your who, right? Who it is you're trying to attract, who you need to attract to create your vision, to create your what. All right, so we created your avatar. From your vision, you created your avatar, which is basically just a digital representation of your ideal client. You could name her, you could describe her, but we went through the demographics first. Who are they? What is their age? What is their sex? What's their marital status? What's their income? Where are they located? So you know where to find them. We talked about it being totally different marketing to a 21-year-old female versus a 52-year-old married man. You're going to speak differently to them. You're going to find them in different places. It's going to be a different conversation that you're going to have. So once you've described, or once you've got their demographics and you know who they are, then we talked about their story. What is going on in their life right now? So we're going to go through that example, like I said, later and talk more about this. But, you know, are they going out on the speaking tour? Are they going through divorce? Have they recently lost a lot of weight and now they want to get out and be more social? Have they started a new career? What's going on with them so that we know what it is that they're looking for? And that's where their psychographics come in. Psychographics are the reason why they want your products or services. What is it they want? What are they looking for? What are their hot buttons, we call them? So your hot buttons are the problems, frustrations, and concerns that matter most to people as they consider the possibility of doing business with you. Your customers' hot buttons are the most pressing reasons they have for becoming your customers. What is it that they want? That's the bottom line. What does your client want? Bill, are you able to hear me any better? Send me a note. I just got a little message saying you can't hear me very well. Can everybody hear me? Hit me real quick. Yeah, everybody can hear me? Okay, good. Good, all right. Bill, I'm not sure quite what it is, but I'm speaking pretty loud. So Yeah, your hot buttons are what it is that your client wants. So then you created your list of eight or so hot buttons that they want, and you wrote down or you circled your top 3 hot buttons. The top 3 most pressing reasons they have for coming to see you. The 3 biggest wants that they have. And you put those on the sheet that we gave you. And then we took those 3 hot buttons and we used the matching wants with solutions form. This is a really, really important form. So we talked about your hot button statement is an I want statement, right? Then what they are really saying is, what does that hot button really mean to them? You know, and I know all of you've done this, so we don't have to go into too much detail about this, but you know, I want to look younger. I want my teeth to look better, but I don't want it to hurt. Whatever that hot button really means to them. So you got to get a little bit deeper. And we talked about last time, some of you had filled out your matching wants with solution forms, but it was more surface. You didn't get real deep into it. You didn't delve into what exactly it is they're saying. So some of you went back and redid that. Then your current solution is we have, or we do statements, right? Then your innovation is a brainstorming session with your team. Statements that start with we could. We could hire a limousine to go pick up the kids for their dental appointments. Those really amazing innovative statements, innovative ideas that will separate you from your competition, that will make it so that your ideal client has to come to you because you're meeting that reticular activating system of your ideal client in such a way that there's no way they could go anywhere else. Those are the we could statements. And then the benefits are they would feel. How would they feel? So you start your benefit statements with they would feel well taken care of. They would feel like you care. They would feel however the emotional aspect of meeting their want, how that would make them feel, right? So your current solution is the features that you have. And features tell, but the benefits is what you really want to focus on because benefits are what sell. If you focus your marketing on your current solutions, you're going to be selling on price. You're going to be selling just like everybody else. We do crowns, bridges, fillings, veneers, gum care, all that stuff. If you talk about your what's, you're going to be selling on price. If you talk about your benefits, then you're going to be selling on value. And that's where you want to be. That's where all of us want to be, or we wouldn't be doing this. Selling on value so that we don't have to compete on price, so that we can separate ourselves and people will have to come to us. Best example is Apple. You know, people wait in line all night to pay full price for a product that, maybe just a tiny bit better than a PC, but the perception is that it's a better product. You believe what they believe, and you're willing to do that. And so that's what we want to create with our practices, the ability to sell on value. Any questions? Anybody have any questions on this so far? I don't think so. You're all experts. We talked about the features, advantages, and benefits, right? That's features are what a product or service has. Advantages are what the product does or how it performs. And benefits are what a given feature means to your prospect in terms of emotion or passion. Well, people don't buy cars. They don't buy 7-speed transmission. They don't buy, they buy how that car makes them feel. They don't buy homes. They make how that home will make them feel. Really, really important to distinguish. People don't buy features or advantages, they buy benefits. So we got to figure out what the benefits are, and that's what that whole sheet's about. Actually figuring out what the benefits are so that we can talk and to them in terms of benefits. The single greatest benefit, so then you went back and you took the matching wants with solution form, and then you circled under each hot button what the single greatest benefit was of that hot button. how that made them feel. So you had 3 single greatest benefits. That doesn't make sense, but 3 greatest benefits. The single greatest benefit for each hot button. And you took those and put them on the form for your single greatest benefit, right? Then I had you create your elevator pitch, which was a clear, powerful, well thought out statement of your business's most compelling value that you can deliver anytime, anywhere, on the spot in 30 seconds. And the formula was, you know how, tell them to state the problem. Well, what we do is your solution, right? So we're going to see, I think Barry did his, and we can look at that. This was our elevator pitch. You know how there are so many people that get totally stressed out at just the thought of going to the dentist? Well, what we do is promise a pain-free, it should have said experience, a pain-free experience that will alleviate their stress and allow them to get the smile they've always wanted. And so the purpose of the elevator pitch is to get that person to say, oh, really? Well, how do you do that? Because then you can get deeper into what you actually do. You can talk, it'll have much more meaning when you discuss what your practice actually does. So that's the whole purpose of the elevator pitch. I know a lot of you have gotten there already, and I would love to read them. Then we figured out your USP. I'm moving a little bit fast through this because we have 2 examples, and I want to have enough time to go through it with each one of them. So your USP is your unique selling proposition. It's a concise message that explains exactly what your business does and how that benefits your ideal customer. And we talked about the formula for that being benefit, benefit, or benefit, 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 however you wanted to word it. So you could take those benefits right off of your matching wants with solution form and create your statement. And I saw some of you did that, and that's awesome. Your unique selling proposition is the most important single benefit you offer to your buyers, the one that differentiates you completely and unequivocally from your competition. It focuses on the unique characteristics of your product and service, both in terms of what is especially important to your customers and in terms of what it is you offer that your competition does not. It's the reason your customers will insist on buying from you and nobody else. Your unique selling proposition, developing a powerful USP can make the difference between becoming a huge success and an also-ran. If you want your business to be incredibly successful, if you want your company to be recognized as a preeminent leader in your market or industry, if you want your business to grow exponentially, then you must have a remarkable USP, and I totally believe that. That's what Apple has, that's what Nike has, that's what Lexus has. Every one of them, they spend a fortune on figuring out their USP. Jim just said, Steve Jobs said, if you can't sell me in 12 words, I'm not buying. 30-second elevator pitch can be a little longer than needed in some situations. I agree with you. So these were some examples. You know, Walmart, save money, live better than their competition. Target, expect more, pay less. The health chair, sit right, feel good, live better. You notice a lot of them end in live better because that's what people are really looking for, kind of in everything we do. They always just want a little bit better life, sometimes a lot better life. But most all of these USPs are ending in live better. So when you've got Apple's is think differently. You've got, where do we go here? Sanchez Dental Associates, my office, great teeth, better life. We believe if you have great teeth, you will have a better life. So you've each got to go and find the USP that distinguishes you from your competition, that is that makes the special thing that you have. Jim says Walmart, Target 4 words, Nike 3 words, Apple 2 words. Good point. If you do a search, so you can go online and search for inspiring USPs or best USPs, or unique selling propositions, or best taglines, and you can get some ideas of what other real successful companies are doing. A lot of them, as Jim could probably point out to you, have spent a fortune on their USP. They have teams and teams of people that create these for them. Ford, for their new one, just maybe, Jim, you know the dollar value, but dollar figure, but it was some incredible amount of money, like, $20 million to come up with the right USP. And I'm sure Walmart and Target did the same thing. We don't have that kind of budget, but if you just follow the formula that I was talking about, benefit, you'll come up with something pretty darn good. It won't be the $20 million version, but I'm pretty happy with Great Teeth, Better Life. I think that really sums up what makes us different, what we believe, and what makes what people can count on us for. Anya says, I missed last week, so maybe lost wondering where the Y is in the USP. Good question. You know what? When you get down to your USP, I realized that our USP really is our why. It really is what we believe. And so I think we might find this with a lot of USPs, especially for smaller businesses. Barry, you're going to start doing USPs and forget implants, huh? We're a little bit different than a large company. A large company, we are more about us and what we believe. There is no Mr. Pepsi. There is no there is a Mr. Ford, but he's long gone. But these large companies, they're not a single person, an entity, like we are. So with our dental practices, it's more about what we believe. Walmart, of course, believes if you save money, you'll live better. Target believes you should expect more and pay less. That's what they believe. Apple, they believe you should think differently. Nike, they believe you should just do it. The health chair, I believe that if you sit right, you're going to feel good and you're going to live better. Your USP is what you believe. And it's really interesting. But the formula for getting there really works. If you just follow that sheet and you get your your single greatest benefit of each hot button, you're going to come up with something that's pretty darn close. Is our why, our belief, our USP? Very much so. Very much so. Yeah, I'm trying to kind of read these comments. So if everybody, as we're talking, goes to the chat area, you'll see some really great comments from everybody. So I'm trying to kind of incorporate those into what we're doing here. But I have found that the USP is what the founder believes. It's the why, it's the belief, it's the USP. Very, very similar in each case. So let's look at an example. Barry, I am going to bring you on here, if I can find you. There you are. Looking good, just like I saw you a few minutes ago. Okay.
That's not Photoshopped.
Not Photoshopped? No enhancements, huh?
No.
Why don't you tell us about your avatar demographics?
You know what? I don't have it in front of me. So maybe if I blow this up, full screen.
Can you blow that up a bit?
Yeah. Male or female, 45 plus, married or single, doesn't matter. Divorced, married, doesn't matter. Higher income bracket, probably 100,000 plus. Educational level, to us, that really isn't significant either. Job title, profession, some of our easier patients are blue collar workers versus, so the educational level doesn't matter. Our large market.
Hey Barry, hold on a second. Because Barry, just because everybody may not know, tell everybody what type of dentistry you do.
we're limited to prosthodontics, and 90% of my practice is implant dentistry. We do all phases of pros, fixed, removable, maxillofacial, but there's rarely a patient that doesn't have some type of implant dentistry incorporated into that.
Okay, so you're looking for the patient. You're looking for the patient that has a lot of dental needs?
Yes, I mean, even from a single tooth to a completely edentulous, yeah, anywhere there.
Okay, let's keep going then. So you're saying that their education level doesn't matter?
No.
Your ideal patient, it doesn't really matter if they have education or not. You haven't found it to be any different as far as wanting the type of dentistry you do?
No, because many times when they get to me, they've been triaged to a point where they know they need to have this, okay? Whether it's from a referral or from some of our marketing. And so there's rarely cases that are simple. I mean, they're more complex, whether it's a head and neck cancer patient, whether it's a patient that's gone through 8 sets of dentures with everybody in town and we're doing implants now. And that really runs the gamut of different educational levels. And surprisingly, you know, in 30 years of doing this, when you look at, oh, that guy only makes $40,000 a year, he's never going to have that upper reconstructed with implants and a fixed bridge. You know, those are the patients that really surprise you and come up with a way to do it. So I found that, you know, obviously higher income would be important, but you know, it's probably not as important as the message we get them to understand why we do things and what we can do for them. So, and as far as,
so your uneducated baby boomer makes over 100,000.
He could, he may not. I mean, we circled one because we circled one because we had to, but I don't think that's as important. Ideally, would it be higher income? Yes.
Okay. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Tell me more about your avatar demographics.
Yeah, we're going to pull them probably not just from Milwaukee, but probably a tri-county or a 4-county area. We actually have patients from all over the state that we see. We talked a lot about this, and I guess because I am a baby boomer, I can say this. There's kind of a selfish attitude sometimes to baby boomers, like they have this attitude that they deserve these things, and okay, we're going to capitalize on that. You know, I've worked hard, I've done this, I deserve this.
Okay.
They may have some major dental issues, whether it's periodontal or whatever, or maybe they're wearing a partial at this point, but they don't want dentures. Ideally, when we really broke down the avatar, their kids are probably gone, so that makes them 50s, 45 plus. And just like we were talking about the last week, is that it's their time now. Okay, they've taken time to take care of their kids. In fact, we jotted quickly and wrote a little script for a radio ad, and it kind of read something to the effect of, you know, you dragged your kids to ortho, you took them to soccer, blah blah blah. They're at this point now where they don't need you as much. You're working out, you're losing weight. It's your time now. And how about looking in the mirror and seeing that smile that you always wanted? That type of thing. And
hey, you know,
good. It was their job, it was their duty, and now it's their time. What else can I read here? They're done taking care of everyone else. one of the other things that we see, especially with this demographics, and because the average age of our patients is probably 78 plus, but now we also, and are those people really internet savvy? No, but they're kids that bring them who are my age in their 50s and 60s that are bringing mom and dad are. So we're selling to them as well as to the patient, and a lot of times more to the kids that are bringing mom and dad after head and neck cancer surgery or after they want to have some implants to hold their lower denture in place. We came up with maybe 1 or 2 missing teeth. Can you scroll that up a little bit, Gary? So
I don't think I can. It says doesn't want to end. Let me see if I can find that on my other screen here. It said.
I think what that said is it doesn't want to end up like their parents or their grandparents.
Doesn't want to end up like mom and dad. 1 or 2 missing teeth. Doesn't want to, has a partial or denture, large fillings from childhood.
Right.
Okay.
That's all I can see here, and
so
I don't have my papers with me.
Okay. These are your avatar psychographics.
Okay. I don't want to look old. I want a tooth replacement that doesn't come up in and out. I want to avoid what my parents went through. And we see that all the time. Our octogenarians that have been edentulated early, they're just miserable. They want to have a positive experience with their office, in an atmosphere that they can trust. Breaking this down a little farther, I want the best team for the job. I want to be involved in the decision making. I want long-lasting solutions. And I think the next one was I want to be treated like I'm special. And that's all I can see, Gary. I'm sorry.
That's all that was there.
Okay.
And so, okay, good. And so you took those and you created your top 3. Unfortunately,
right.
we were one. I had to expand it, and somehow it got off center there so that people could read it.
No problem.
But you picked 3, and your top 3 were, well, you see 1 and 2, but then 3 was the bottom one. So your first one was
the middle one. Number 1 was I want a tooth replacement that doesn't come in and out. Our number 2 was I want a positive experience in an office I can trust. And number 3 was I want to avoid what my parents went through.
Okay. And then you had also on there, I want to be treated like I'm special as number.
Yeah, that one.
You had number 1. You had 2 number 1s, a number 2, and a number 3.
All right. I guess we
the top 2 were number 1s. Good. That's healthy.
Yeah.
That's healthy for them to be involved and understand what's going on. And it's okay. You could have 5 if you wanted.
Right.
3 is just an easier number. Okay, good. Okay. Any comments on how you came to those 3?
We all just sat around my desk in the office and just threw things out. And I mean, the staff was very supportive and very into it. So I think these are nothing that I dictated. It's things that we came to a consensus on as a group. And it's pretty easy in my practice because it's a small group. I mean, I've had one employee's been there 24 years, another one's been there 18 years, and the new hygienist, our old hygienist, retired after 26 years. So it's a pretty tight-knit group.
Wow.
And that's it. That's us.
Well, that's awesome. And they know your clients, obviously.
Absolutely.
Uh-oh, what happened here? Rotated it back. Right. I rotated it and it rotated it back. So I will read these for you because you're not going to be able to read sideways, I don't think. You said for your hot buttons, number one. Do you have it on your computer? Oh, turn your computer side. Let me read. I'll read it for you.
Good.
On my PowerPoint, it's straight, but somehow when I imported it in there, it turned it sideways again. It says, I want a non-removable tooth replacement and to avoid what my parents went through. What they are really saying is, I don't want dentures ever. I don't want to team ground down. Oh, my teeth ground down. Okay.
You know, if you talk about
teeth ground down.
If you talk about the alternatives with a 3-unit bridge versus a single tooth missing, they don't want. I have that conversation every day.
Perfect. Current solution, what you currently do is we offer implants for missing teeth. We offer surgical restorative replacement of teeth. Innovations, what could we do? We could offer in-house CBCT machine. We could offer digital x-rays. We could offer a website that shows the implant process. And if you did that, the benefits to them would be they would feel safe. They would feel that it's predictable. They would feel that it's a simple solution to missing teeth. So they would feel safe, they would feel like it's predictable, and they would feel like it's simple. Does that sound right?
And I think we missed the innovation because we thought, what have we done under innovation? And we've done those things. So we have an in-house CBCT, we have digital radiographs, we do the surgery and the implants for probably 90% of our cases in-house. So I guess I misunderstood what the innovation was. Is like, I thought it meant what did you do to do that, because we've done that already. So
see, that's perfect. That's why I'm glad we're going through this, because well, if you thought that, I'm sure other people thought the same thing. And yeah, your innovation is thinking outside the box. It's getting your team together and saying, okay, this is what we're doing now and we're meeting their needs. What is it we could do to just blow them away, to just make them know that we are the only place they can come to? Because, for example, other prosthodontists offer implants for missing teeth and surgical and restorative replacement of teeth, right?
No. We're the only office that does our own surgery. We're kind of a black sheep. So
you're the only prosthodontic office that does implants?
That does both the surgical and the restorative.
The surgical and the restorative, okay. But probably there's some general dentists in your area that do that, right?
Sure.
So that that may not seem like an innovation to them. I mean, that's just your current solution. So your innovation, let's brainstorm for a second right now. What could you do to exceed that want of wanting non-removable replacement and to avoid what my parents went through? Are there things you could do?
I mean, some of the other things that we do, I'll just throw those out, are we have a host of patients that have gone through those procedures that are on call at any time to talk to potential patients if they'd like to. And that's a very comforting thing for those patients to talk to somebody that'll give them the nitty-gritty that's actually gone through it.
Perfect. Perfect. What else could you do? I wish I had your whole team here with you. Huh?
What else could we do?
And anybody else that's on the call with us tonight, feel free to add it in the chat area. If you have an idea, I see Jim Jubileer thinks you should run a funny commercial ad mocking the Disney commercial where the parents drop the kids off at college and and where they go. To Disney, of course. In your ad, where do they go? To you, of course. Yeah. See, there's perfect. But if anybody else is listening, what other things could Barry do to exceed the want of having a non-removable tooth replacement and avoiding what their parents went through? Great use. You could use video testimonials to have staff share the stories with new patients. What else? Throw some things up there for us. Help Barry brainstorm for a minute.
We have video testimonials on the website.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
We'll keep going as I'm expecting all kinds of help from everybody, so feel free to chime in. Okay, so the second hot button was, I want a positive experience in an office I can trust. So what they're really saying is, I've had previous bad experiences at my former dentist. My former dentist should have sent me to a specialist. Oh, okay. So they've been kind of over-treated or mistreated or treated by somebody who didn't know what they were doing at their previous office, so they had a bad experience. Is that what you're saying?
Many times that's the case. And I'm very blessed in that I have a lot of referrals that will look at a case and just say they're at a point in their lives where they're like, I don't need this hassle. Either the patient's just a difficult patient physically, it's a tough case physically, or the patient is a tough case psychologically, and they don't need that hassle. So not that we're a dumping ground, but they're comfortable in their own practice to say, this is something that we don't need here, or that I'm not comfortable treating, go see this guy. Also,
so your current solution.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But I also, and this is, I'm not trying to sound. Don't any of the group take this the wrong way. My first learning curve in implant dentistry was the restorative. My second learning curve was the surgical. And I'm on a third learning curve right now, which is rescue. So there are cases that maybe were not planned correctly, and thank goodness with guided surgery and CBCTs, that's becoming less of an issue. But there are some offices that maybe are over-treating patients. And so that is part of our practice too, to rescue those.
Okay. Your current solution is that you lay out a PowerPoint treatment planning session in a non-threatening environment. So you sit down with them now and you go through what's going to happen, what they're going to feel, all those kinds of things. Your innovation could be, you could use digital co-diagnosis in which the patient is an active participant in their treatment plan. So I bet you now you might be able to come up with some more innovations for that area.
I took a photography course with Gary Krieger, okay? And he kind of coined this. It's called digital co-diagnosis, because what I was doing, I was just putting everything together and spending so much time on these treatment plans and saying, here's option A, option B, and I was just doing a cookbook method all the time. And I'll take an hour, because these are bigger cases, I'll take an hour and like I said, we're off in another room. I'm not getting busted by my hygienist, that they have my undivided attention because I'm trying to sell them a big case. And it just seemed like I was hitting the wall constantly. And I took this course with him, and he does some phenomenal photography, but he coined the term digital co-diagnosis. And I talked to him a couple times, and he was saying how I was putting the CBCT up there. I was making little movies and showing them where the implant was going to go. He goes, put up a picture and ask them what they see. And just start a conversation with them. You know where you want to take them. Well, that's nice, Mrs. Smith. Well, what do you think will happen with that? Or, that's nice. I'm concerned about that too. And you just lead them down this path. So we've really changed how we do our case presentation. We've really worked hard on that, and it's just golden. The patient gets where you want them to be, and they think they took themselves there, but you're really just kind of laying out the golden path and dropping the cookies along, and they're just picking them up and eating them one by one and getting to where you want to. Well, and you just give them open-ended questions like, well, what do you see there? Well, geez, that tooth is really tilted over, and that gum is really down on that side, and that tooth on the other side doesn't even have a filling in it. Well, what do you think could be that? Well, could you put something in the space? I'm glad you mentioned that. But would you like to hear more about what we could do there?
How would you consider that an innovation for your positive experience?
I mean, I just did a 180 in how we presented the treatment plans, and it seems to really make a difference.
So how, again, not how it's good for you, how is that good for your patient?
Because
how is this innovative for them? How would they say, that's what I want?
Because it goes back to, I feel special, I'm part of the decision making, when really they're really, I knew where I wanted to take them, but it's just a different way of getting them there. So they feel that benefit of being a co-diagnosis or getting to, that really makes sense, and I want to do that. And it's where we wanted to take them to begin with.
And I think Paul said it right in his comment there. He says they feel listened to and not talked at.
And I'm just throwing one-liners at them like, well, that's great. How does that make you feel? Or, well, I'm concerned about this.
Well, how does it make them feel when you ask them that? When you ask them that, how does it make them feel?
Well, what you're trying to elicit in that response is, I feel like if I don't do something about that, that's going to be an issue. And I want to be comfortable in the decision that we're talking about right now, that it's going to be safe, predictable, and it's going to be a benefit to me.
Okay, good. We better keep going because I see our time running down. But so you have here is the benefits. Patients feel empowered. They have complete understanding of the treatment proposed. Okay, right. So they feel empowered. Good. The last hot button you've got is I want to be treated like I'm special and part of the decision-making process. What they're really saying is, I know I have problems, but I don't want to be treated like I'm going to a clinic. The current solution is you have a low-volume practice. Patients see the same faces every time. The innovation would be, how you could innovate it would be an I Promise video, which is excellent, and staff that really like each other. Is that okay?
Right.
And that would make them feel confident, and it would make them feel like they made the right choice.
Right.
Okay. Good. Let's see if I... Oh, so that's as much as you'd sent me so far. Where I think you should go from here, Barry, is just pull out your matching wants with solutions form again and spend a little bit more time on your innovations.
Okay.
Because A, that's what makes your practice a lot of fun. B, that's what makes your practice stand out for the referring dentist, and it stands out for the new patient coming in to make you be the talk of the town.
Yeah, I think we completely missed that. I think when we read that, we read it too quickly, and it's like, what innovations have we done? So we got to take it to the next level.
That's
okay. Thank you.
I think you ought to be able to head back and just a little bit more detail on the innovations and on the benefits, because then you're going to use those for the whole next part of it. Got it?
Thank you. Yep. Awesome.
I'm going to bring Mitch. Hope you're there. We're going to have to move a little faster, unfortunately. I hope you're there. That's weird. Mitch? You just lost a light bulb. All right, where are you, Mitch? There you are. Come back on with me. Come on, Mitch. There you go. I'm going to keep going while you're coming on, Mitch, because I know everybody. There he is. Hey, Mitch. Okay, good. I'll get you off of this one. We're going to have to move a little faster, unfortunately, but tell me about your avatar, your demographics of your avatar.
Well, when we listened last time, there was a lot of discussion about the 45-year-old female. And we just recently had a very excellent case come in, and we're working on it now, and it was about a 48-year-old female. Everything fit precisely. But when we sat down and looked at the data in our own software, we realized that we treated just as many men comprehensively and aesthetically as we do women. So we felt that we would have over-narrowed our practice to go looking for just the female. So we wanted to open it up to both sexes, who want self-improvement.
Okay. And they're age 35 to 75?
Yes. Actually, the reason to go down to 35 is a recent case also was a 35-year-old Google executive needing comprehensive dentistry. So we didn't want to close out the young upstart, the upwardly mobile person.
So what you want to think about when you're doing your demographics, your avatar demographics, is it's not so much who you have, but who you want. And let's keep going, but it's more of a matter of who exactly it is you would like to see walk in the door, not who comes in every now. You may have a 25-year-old that comes in that needs full mouth restorative and their parents can afford it, but maybe that's not exactly who you would like to target your marketing towards. But that's okay. 35 to 75.
Great number of younger patients come in, that want that today. Everybody's getting that input from television, to look younger, and just get started, take care of yourself, those kind of effects.
Okay. I may go ahead and read this for you because we only have like 8 minutes left. So education level would be college, income 75 to 100,000, job profession, a professional, geographic market, Orange County.
Actually, that number 8 belongs more about their story.
Okay.
Than the demographics. I think that was filled out a little early on because we don't have any comments down below, but I wrote some. Let's see if
tell me their story.
Well, we're looking for the person who feels like they're moving up in life, that their life is changing, and they want to be involved in that change. And it may be in their relationship, it may be at work, it may be they've inherited money and now it's the time to change themselves. Very much like Barry was saying, now's the time in their life to make a move to better themselves for whatever reason.
Okay. And this was your Matching Wants with Solutions form. Something is burning in here. I don't know what it is. I'm sitting in my office and I can smell something burning, but we'll deal with it after the webinar. My hair gets on fire. You know what it is.
That happened to mine one time too.
So, hot button. You put down here social job change. So your hot button, what I want everybody to focus on is that your hot button is an I want statement. So how would you change that, Mitch, into an I want statement?
Well, if they are facing promotions or they are facing starting a new life, well, they want to go forward with it, being their best, looking their best, performing their best. They want something.
They want to look as good as they can?
Yes.
Okay.
Look as good as they can, whether it's teeth, whether it's their body, or whatever it is.
Okay, so that's the statement that you'll want to put in on your Matching Wants with Solutions form.
It could be that they want to start that change, to create that change. They may feel they need to make a change.
So when you go back and look at your hot button sheet, those statements are all I want statements. And then you're going to take those statements and put them right in here to the Matching Wants with Solutions so that you get the conversation going, so that you start to think, I want to look better because I'm getting back out in the world and I need to be more attractive, or whatever the situation is. That's what you're going to put in there for the hot button.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Okay.
Yes. Yes, it does.
So let's go through this. Then what they are really saying is, what are they really saying? I perceive that my appearance is holding me back. I perceive that I'm aging. I perceive that I palliative dry mouth.
Forget that one. That just came in the conversation.
That what now?
That just happened to come up in the conversation. That third one there is not one of the what they're really trying to.
Okay.
But
and your current solution. Your current solution is cosmetic services and preventive care. Okay.
Yes.
Innovation. What could we do? It says you could offer information on weight loss and exercise. You could offer self-improvement. You could offer blood pressure screenings, I'm assuming that means. You could offer the official theme of staying young.
Yeah, we felt that, well, looking at teeth, maybe they want to have more attractive teeth, a better smile, better functioning teeth. But we felt that we could be maybe a little innovative and just help them take it another step further, to help them look at their physical fitness, to have them look at their life interest or psychological aspect, make referrals if they so desire. So to go kick it up one more notch, well, your teeth are going to look pretty. How do you want to look?
Perfect. Okay. And then the benefits is, how would that make them feel? It would make them feel, it says, getting out of life what they feel they deserve. It would feel the quality of life among friends and coworkers. They would feel self-confidence and self-esteem, and they would feel personal achievement. So, Mitch, the same thing, and this is going to really apply to everybody, and I'm really glad that we're using your example, Mitch, and Barry's, because the more you put into this particular form, the more you're going to have for all of your marketing from here forward, because everything that you need to be able to market your practice on any way, any kind of medium, you'll get from this form. So it's really, really critical to fill it out in a way that's the most useful for you. And so if you can do the same thing for next time that, and even just send it to me, that Barry's doing is go back and fill this out with more detail, with more, just with more, with more detail and in the right format. With the we could statements, the I want statements, we have statements, we do statements, we could. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Because you're going to want that when we're get to the next section. And if you have it all written on here, it'll all jump right out at you. And in the current format, it's not quite as easy for you to do that or your team to do that.
Okay.
Make sense?
Makes sense.
Let me keep going, just because we're running out of time. So you had as your, let's see, you had as your list of benefits, understanding, pain treated, eat better, comfortable, self-esteem. So put each of those benefits in a they would feel statement.
Okay, will do.
Okay, and then the elevator pitch. So you know how people want to live longer and have a better life.
We've modified that. We've modified that a little bit to say, you know how people want to live longer, get promotions, look more attractive, and have a better life. Expanded it just a little bit.
Much better. Much better. Yeah, those are the problems, the issues that they're facing. Well, what we do is, what is your solution?
So we're in a dental business that helps guide people to have healthier bodies throughout their lives by having healthy teeth so that they can get those promotions. They can make their life better.
Good. I think that's a really good start. And I think you don't need to put the word the dental business, but you could just say, so what you want to have happen after that you've said your elevator pitch is you want them to say, well, so how do you do that? You could just say, we help guide people to a healthier body throughout their lives by giving them healthier teeth. You also got to realize, does that attract, does that speak to your ideal client? Is that what they're looking for, a healthier body? Are they going to come to the dentist for a healthier body? What's their main problem? What's keeping them? So the you know how part is their problem. What's the issue that's keeping them back? Yes, they want to live longer and have a better life, but what is the issue? What's the what are they really wanting?
Okay. We'll put some more thought into it.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we're going through these because, I had the same issue when I was doing this for the first time, and I had somebody helping me with this, so I know what it's like to go through this, and it's really good that, because I'm sure other people on the call on the meeting tonight are having the same problem. So, unique selling proposition. You've got your list of benefits and your top 3 benefits. Again, put them in the they would feel format.
Okay.
And then we can come up with your USP after that. All right?
Okay.
Little work on it, and then let's look at it again. Thanks, Mitch. Okay, I'm gonna kind of quickly go through this because I know we're running low on time. So what have we done so far? I want to just quickly review what all we've done so far. All of this is really about getting you ready, getting your web presence ready. Your website is really going to be the hub of all of the marketing that you do, because it's the one property that you own on the web that nobody can change, that you have complete control of it, that Facebook can change at any moment, LinkedIn can change at any moment, but your website, you have control of it, and you can say what you want. And so this whole first section here is all about getting you ready. It's about creating clarity for you. discovering your why you do what you do, discovering the why of your team members so that you can discover who you have with you on this journey. You know, understanding what it is you believe, what you can count on people for, and what your business why is, why you exist, and why should anyone care. Because when what you do is in line with why you do what you do and how you want to express it, you'll have passion. So critical to have passion for what you're doing. People see it. So how do we know you have passion in your business? Because what you do is in line with why you do it and how you want to express it. But passion is the fuel, and passion is the fuel that gives you the energy to pursue your dreams. If you don't have passion, if you don't have energy, you don't have anything. But passion is meaningless without vision. So you've got to have vision. And that's why we next went to vision. Creating a vision, where you want to go, vision for the kind of practice you want, then a vision for who you want to attract, that's your avatar, a vision for what they want, which is your hot buttons, a vision for how do you speak to them, right? That's your USP, and that's your elevator pitch. And your demographics are where you find them. Where do you go get them? So why marketing is all about being the better able you are to articulate why you do what you do and what you believe, the more you will attract those people that believe what you believe. And those are the ones you want to build your practice around. But if you don't even know what you believe, how are you ever going to be able to articulate that? And so this is all about building your hub or building your website. So we need to get all this done before we can start building our network. Before we can start sending people to our site, we got to get all this stuff done. You don't want to just send people to your website that doesn't tell them anything, that doesn't filter out anything, that doesn't tell them who you are. A lot of you already know this hasn't worked for you. You've already had websites that have done nothing for you. What we're doing now is building your website around your why and around who you're looking for so that it speaks to them when they get there. So that when you start building your network, using Facebook, using LinkedIn, using radio spots, using YouTube, using all of these different channels, when they get to your site, they'll know you're the right person, and it'll filter out the wrong people that you don't have to deal with, but it'll let them know that you are the right person for them. But you got to get all this done first before you start sending people to your site. So what do we do next? Any questions on that? Does that make sense to everybody? What we need to do next is you need to use your why and how to create your script for your homepage video. I can show you how to do that. I'm going to show you the process for doing that. But you need to be able to use your why, what you believe, and how you want to express it to create your script for your homepage videos so that when they get there to your site, when they get to your site and your video starts, they'll know you're talking directly to them. Okay, that's critically important. You also need to use the most pressing wants of your avatar, their hot buttons, to create your headline. So if you look at this website here, one of our websites, it says, if you've been putting off going to the dentist for years and now you're ready to do something about it, you're in the right place. This website is looking for the compelled patient, for somebody who's been putting it off. They know they've been putting off. They just haven't been able to do anything about it, and now they're ready to get going. We're the ones for them. They get to the site, they read the headline, it speaks directly to them, the video starts to play, we're talking to them about what we believe, hits home with them, they know we're the right person for them. You need to use your USP. Once you've created your USP, you need to use your USP in all of your marketing material, on your website, on your uniforms, on your stationery, on your review of finding folders. Everywhere in your practice, you need to be using your USP. We'll talk a little bit more about this next time. You also need to start using your elevator pitch everywhere so that when people ask you, so what do you do when you're at an event, when you're at a party, they will ask you, oh, really? Well, how do you do that? So that you can engage people to be able to tell them about your practice. Computer's kind of dying on me here. So we've got to get all of this ready before we tell the world about you, before we start building your network, before you start using Facebook, start using LinkedIn. I know some of you have talked to me about using radio. Okay, you can have your radio spot, and then you send them to your website, but if your website doesn't articulate what it is you believe, and it doesn't speak directly to them, then you're no different than anybody else. So we want to get all of this ready before we turn on the network. Everybody, any questions on any of that? Does that make sense? You've got to start working on your homepage video script. You've got to start using your USP everywhere. We've got to get you ready, get your hub, if you will, ready so that we can start feeding people to it. Whether it's Facebook, whether it's radio spots, whether it's Google, whether it's LinkedIn, whatever it is. Now, when I started, all you had to do was use Google. You just had to get to the top of the search engines and people start coming to you. It's not so easy anymore. With all the Google changes, with all the updates and the algorithm changes, it doesn't work so easy anymore. It's really challenging to get to the top of Google. You'll spend all this time and all this money getting to the top of Google. They'll change the algorithm. You'll get thrown down to the bottom, and you're like, what the heck happened to my people coming to me? So we're going to build multiple channels to bring people to you. You're going to cast a bigger net than just Google because it's too costly to have it turn off on you. Now, we'll be working on that as we go forward. First step's going to be getting your script done, and I'm going to show you how to do that coming up. Live event, October 26th to 28th. I hope everybody can make it because one of the things we're going to do there is we are going to shoot your homepage video for you, with you. You come, bring your camera, we'll have cameras, we'll have lighting, we'll have scripting, we'll have all of that ready for you. We'll have our script writers here if you don't already have your script done, and then you'll get to you'll get to see how the process works. We can work with you hands-on on how you want to look at the camera, how to use the teleprompter, how to do all of these things so that you can get your homepage video script and you'll know how to do videos from then forward. So we're going to do a lot of that at the live event on top of some other things. So hopefully put this in your calendar. Make sure that you are here. Camera, what kind? We can talk more about cameras as we go along. In fact, if you don't even want to bring your camera, Doug, you don't have to because we'll have cameras here and you can see how, or if you haven't bought one yet, you can see the ones that we have. They're not that expensive. You can see exactly how to do it. That is a live event. I'm sorry I'm running a little bit late tonight, you guys. Next study club, Monday, August 20th, 8:30 p.m. Homework. If you haven't got your matching wants with solutions done the way you want them, go back and finish it. Finish your single greatest benefit. Finalize your elevator pitch. Start using it. I want to hear them. Send it to me. And finalize your USP. You're going to really need to use all this stuff. So send it to me when you guys are done. Send it to me so that I can see it. I'll probably send you another email next week to remind you, but I'd love to see them. Then we can work on these things together. Okay? Any questions? I'm looking at questions. I'm looking at chat. I don't see it. I apologize for running a little bit late. You know where to get a hold of me, support at 4D Dentistry, if you have any questions at all. Okay, we're going to call it a wrap for tonight. I hope that was helpful for everybody. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate it. And let me